I woke up in a different reality. Chapter 1. A yesterday that never happened. I woke up feeling displaced, like the world around me had shifted just slightly. The way a dream feels almost real until you notice something is off. My room looked the same, but an eerie silence filled the air. No distant sound of the city. No morning chirping. Just stillness. I reached for my phone and clicked the home button. The screen lit up. Monday, September 12th, 2021. I frowned. That couldn't be right. Yesterday was Tuesday, October 3rd, 2023. Heart pounding. I sat up and checked my reflection in the mirror. My beard was gone. My hair was shorter. My skin was smoother. No small scar above my eyebrow from last year's biking accident. The hoodie I had worn just yesterday? Missing. I stumbled toward my closet, yanking the door open. The clothes hanging inside were different. The sneakers I had worn on my last hike, mud-stained and torn, were brand new again, as if time had reversed itself. My breath caught in my throat. I grabbed my phone again and scrolled through my contacts. Every name looked familiar, but something gnawed at me. I tapped on Mom's number. The phone rang 3 times before she answered. "Hey, sweetie, everything okay?" Her voice was warm, casual, like nothing was wrong. Like I hadn't just lost 2 years of my life overnight. "Mom, what day is it?" I asked. A pause, then a soft chuckle. "Monday, sweetheart." "Why? What year?" Another pause, this time longer. "Are you feeling all right?" she asked, concern creeping into her tone. "Mom, please, just tell me the year." 2021. I felt the blood drain from my face. This wasn't just my phone messing up. It wasn't a prank. Something had rewritten reality around me, and I was the only one who noticed. Chapter 2. A life that wasn't mine. I stood in the middle of my bedroom, my pulse hammering in my ears. Everything felt too real to be a dream, yet too impossible to accept as reality. My apartment was the same, but not. The furniture was arranged differently. The books on my shelf were ones I remembered owning years ago, but the ones I had bought recently, gone. My laptop was the old model I had replaced in 2022. My sneakers, my clothes, even the faint smell of my room, it was all frozen in time, as if the last 2 years had never happened. I grabbed my phone again and scrolled through my gallery. No photos past 2021. No trips. No nights out. No pictures with my friends from the last 2 years. No pictures of her. I felt a sharp jolt in my chest. I tapped on my contacts, fingers trembling, and searched for one name. Emily. It wasn't there. I tried to call her number from memory, but the line rang and rang before a robotic voice answered. "The number you have dialed is not in service." My hands felt cold. We had met in 2022. We had spent 2 years together. 2 perfect years. And now she had never existed. I needed answers. I rushed to my laptop and typed my name into Google. The search results popped up, and everything looked normal. My social media accounts were there, my old posts, my profile pictures. But then I noticed something strange. My last post was from September 10th, 2021. After that, nothing. No updates, no new photos, no messages. It was as if I had disappeared from the internet for 2 years. I checked the news. Everything matched what I vaguely remembered from 2021. No major changes, no bizarre shifts in history. The world was the same, only I was different. And then I saw it, a news article. A small, insignificant report from September 11th, 2021. Local man, 24, reported missing after failing to return home. Friends and family concerned. I clicked on it, and my own face stared back at me. My heart stopped. I had gone missing. Yesterday, for everyone else, was September 11th, 2021. And according to the world, I had never been found. So, if I had vanished 2 years ago, where the hell had I been? Chapter 3. A Voice from the Void. I couldn't breathe. The screen in front of me blurred as my vision swam. My own missing person report. My name. My face. My entire existence reduced to a footnote in a forgotten news article. I gripped the edge of my desk, forcing air into my lungs. Think. I needed to talk to someone. Someone who knew me. Someone who could tell me that this was all a mistake. I dialed my best friend, Mark. The phone rang once, twice, 3 times. Hello. His voice. Normal. Familiar. I exhaled sharply, trying to steady my nerves. Mark, man, it's me. Listen, Who is this? My stomach dropped. What do you mean? It's me, Alex. Silence. Then hesitation. Sorry, man. I don't know an Alex. The room tilted. Mark, stop messing around. We've known each other since college. We lived together for a year. I was at your wedding. For God's sake. I think you have the wrong number. Click. The call ended. I sat frozen, the dial tone ringing in my ears. Mark was gone. Erased. Or worse. He had never known me at all. I scrolled through my contacts again. Friends. Co-workers. Even my boss. Name after name. All familiar to me. Yet none of them would remember me. This wasn't just 2 years of my life missing. I was missing from those 2 years. I was still gripping my phone when a notification popped up. A message from an unknown number. I stared at it, pulse hammering. Slowly, I tapped to open it. Unknown. Stop looking. Go back to your life. Forget everything. A chill crawled up my spine. I typed back, hand shaking. Me, who is this? What's happening to me? 3 dots appeared. Then stopped. Then appeared again. Finally, a reply. Unknown. You were never supposed to come back. Chapter 4. The truth I should have never known. My fingers hovered over the screen, heart pounding so hard I could hear it. You were never supposed to come back. What the hell did that mean? I typed furiously. Me, who are you? What happened to me? No response. Me, please. I don't understand. The typing dots appeared. Stopped. Appeared again. Then finally, unknown, you were gone. We made sure of it. But somehow you found a way back. My skin prickled with cold. I swallowed hard, fingers shaking as I typed. Me. What do you mean made sure of it? Who are you? Nothing. Silence. The message was seen, but no reply came. I waited. 5 minutes. 10. The room felt smaller, suffocating. The walls too close. The air too thin. Then, another message popped up. Unknown. Stop looking. Or they will come for you again. Again? My breath caught in my throat. I stood up so fast my chair scraped against the floor. I needed air. I needed to think. I grabbed my jacket and bolted out of my apartment. The hallway was too quiet. The fluorescent lights flickered, casting eerie shadows. I took the stairs 2 at a time, bursting out onto the cold, empty streets. I didn't know where I was going. I just needed to move. I walked, then ran, through streets I barely recognized, past buildings that felt familiar yet wrong. The air smelled different. The sky looked darker than it should have at this hour. And then I felt it, that itching feeling, the sensation of being watched. I stopped, my breath coming in sharp gasps. Slowly I turned around. A man stood across the street, tall, motionless, dressed in dark clothes. His face was blurred. I blinked, my chest tightening. It wasn't just a trick of the light. His features were smudged, unclear like an out-of-focus photo. The moment our eyes, if he even had them, met, my phone buzzed violently. Another message. Unknown run. Cold terror shot through me. The man tilted his head, as if studying me. Then he moved. Not walked. Not ran. Shifted. One moment he was across the street. The next, he was closer. I bolted. My legs moved on instinct, adrenaline drowning my thoughts. I sprinted down the street, my breath ragged, my lungs burning. Behind me, footsteps. Too fast. Too inhumanly fast. I turned a corner. Then another, and another, desperately weaving through alleyways and streets. But the footsteps never faded. Then, just as suddenly as they began, they stopped. I didn't. I ran until my body refused to move, collapsing against a wall in a deserted alley, gasping for air. My hands trembled as I pulled out my phone, sweat dripping down my forehead. One last message was waiting for me. Unknown, you should have never come back. Chapter 5. The answer that should have stayed buried. I sat in the alley for what felt like an eternity, my back pressed against the cold bricks, my fingers gripping my phone so tightly they ached. The message, you should have never come back, burned in my mind like a scar. Something was very, very wrong. I wasn't just in a different reality. I was never meant to leave the one they took me to. A cold shiver crawled down my spine. I needed answers, and I knew exactly where to start. The return to the house from my childhood, the one that looked like it had been left behind in time. It was the last place I remembered before everything changed. I didn't care if it was a trap. I had nothing left but questions, and I'd rather face the nightmare than keep running from shadows. The roads were empty as I approached the house. The sky, darker than before, the clouds hanging too low, too heavy. I stepped onto the porch, the wood creaking under my weight. My hand hesitated on the doorknob. Then I pushed it open. Inside, the air was thick, like the house was holding its breath. The furniture was exactly as I remembered. The walls still had that faded wallpaper. The old clock still ticked, even though it hadn't worked in years. I stepped further in and froze. A mirror stood in the center of the room. It hadn't been there before. The frame was black, twisting and warping like something alive. And in the reflection, I wasn't alone. The truth in the reflection. A man stood behind me. No, me. I spun around. Nothing. But in the mirror, he was still there, staring at me with my own eyes. Then he spoke. You took my place. My throat closed. I was supposed to come back. The realization hit me all at once. I hadn't just returned to my reality. I had stolen it. The reason everything felt wrong, the reason I was being watched, hunted, was because I was never supposed to be here. The other me, the one trapped in the place I had escaped, wanted his life back. I took a step back. He took a step forward. The mirror rippled. Let me out. The room shook. The air thickened. The walls bent inward, squeezing, suffocating. I couldn't breathe. I turned to run, but the mirror shattered, and I felt something pulling me in. The final choice. My vision blurred. The world distorted. I was falling or being dragged. I screamed, then silence. When I opened my eyes, I was somewhere else. The air was heavy. The sky red. The buildings were wrong, twisted, melting into shapes that shouldn't exist. And around me, figures moved. They had no faces, just blurs. I wasn't my reality anymore. I was in his, and there was no way back.